confirmation bias?
Confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias.
Confirmation is known as the mother of all biases.
Confirmation bias is the tendency to look for information that supports rather than rejects one's preconceptions, typically by interpreting evidence to confirm existing beliefs while rejecting or ignoring any conflicting data, as defined by the American Psychological Association. I know, that was a lot. Here are 8 quick examples to drive the definition home. Politics. Take a belief. My preferred political candidate is honest. Biased behavior is if you only read news sources that portray them positively while ignoring or dismissing scandals as fake news. Health and nutrition. Let's say someone believes veganism is the healthiest diet. Well, if they only search for studies that show the benefits of vegan diets while ignoring or criticizing studies suggesting nutritional downsides, they're doing biased research. Superstitions. Let's say someone believes that horoscopes are accurate. Well, if you remember the few times that it seemed accurate but forgets the many times it didn't apply at all, your research or behavior is biased. Investing. Let's say someone believes that tech stocks are always a good investment. Well, if you focus on success stories like Apple or Tesla, and you ignore the countless examples of tech stock failures or crashes, again, biased research or biased behavior. I'll give 4 more. In relationships, if you believe that your partner is loyal or kind, but you ignore or downplay the red flags and make excuses for hurtful behavior, you're skewing the data. In academic research, if you believe that your theory is correct, but you selectively cite studies that support the hypothesis while overlooking the conflicting data, again, biased behavior. I bet you're seeing a pattern. In sports fandom, if you believe that your team is the best, but you attribute the wins to skill and losses to bad refereeing or luck, illogical. Lastly, stereotyping. If you believe that group X is lazy, but you choose to only remember the instances that fit the stereotype while ignoring examples that contradict it, again, biased. Okay, so there are probably countless more examples, but you get the point. It's a biased way of both researching and interpreting data. Now, it's not hard to imagine the negative implications of this in the real world, right? For example, think juries in court or major media outlets. Okay, but wait. Why is it even happening? Well, research suggests 3 ways. Number 1 is information processing. The brain can only handle so much data. Confirmation bias is a lazy and efficient way of forming a conclusion without covering all the data. Unfortunately, it's very irritating to listen to. Number 2 is to protect our self-esteem. As humans, we struggle to be vulnerable. It's hard, right? Especially in today's world where opinions are abundant, confirmation bias can help us feel confident in our decisions by finding data that supports us and counters other people's opinions. The point is, confirmation bias isn't always trying to harm us. In fact, more often than not, it's trying to help us. Which leads me to reason number 3, cognitive dissonance. Now, I've made a video on this before, but cognitive dissonance is defined as the mental discomfort experienced when a person holds 2 conflicting beliefs or when their actions don't align with their beliefs. To minimize this tension, people will subconsciously avoid information that contradicts them and find information that supports them. The bottom line here is that people tend to see what they already believe or what they want to see. So the desire to be efficient creates a lazy way of forming conclusions, which can sometimes, or oftentimes, be wrong. So what do? The answer? Think more. Thinking is hard. Critical thinking is harder. If we don't challenge our own beliefs and thoughts, we are allowing subconscious processes to clutter our mind and skew our judgment. One of the responsibilities we have as individuals in an era where misinformation spreads like wildfire is to challenge our own thoughts, beliefs, and judgments. Now, this requires more mental energy, effort, time, and skill. But the reward is you think cleaner, take informed actions, and potentially stop the spread of misinformation. And I'll say one more thing. The more emotionally charged you are about a topic, the more likely you are to be inherently biased towards it. If you approach arguments with the need to win rather than a desire to collectively find the right answer, it tends to make things more complicated. Now, we've covered confirmation bias 101, what it is, why it happens, and how we can reduce the chances of it happening to us. Now let's talk about confirmation bias 201, speed, pressure, stress. Fun facts, in 2025, Google is estimated to handle over 3 billion searches per day. And that's the lowest number from the articles I read. Yeah, some said higher. YouTube has on average 20 million videos uploaded to the platform daily, with over 20 billion total videos. YouTube Shorts receives around 70 billion views. That's every single day. In simple terms, information is uploaded at speeds much faster than we can consume. So it's important that we, now more than ever, develop critical thinking, research, and decision-making skills because the world demands it. If you operate in high pressure, high stress, high stakes environments, your ability to process rapid information and execute with speed, accuracy, and composure is not optional. It's required. The CEO is the person who makes the call no one else can make. The MVP is the athlete who can perform when no one else feels confident enough to step to the plate. The world belongs to the individual who can process large amounts of information, maintain composure, and execute with surgical precision. Confirmation bias is a cognitive blind spot that must be purged because bad decisions in these environments could cost someone their career, their reputation, or even someone's life. The surgeon must maintain composure when the patient is bleeding out and no one else knows what to do. The police officer must maintain composure when dealing with high-pressure situations because one bad call could potentially end someone's life. The judge must ensure that he or she is not being swayed by any false narratives, preconceived beliefs, or manipulations because their judgment holds weight. Decision-making is the skill of the 21st century, and it is up to us to feed our brain accurate information, challenge pre-existing thoughts and beliefs, and reduce as much confirmation bias as we possibly can. If you are an executive, creative, or performer who operates in a high-stress environment on the daily, and performance psychology, research, and tactics interests you, check out our newsletter, Outlier OS, at gpaenterprises.com. That's a wrap. That's all I got for you today. Confirmation bias explains why we only see what we already believe. Don't be like everybody else. Think bold, act different, be an outlier. Let me know in the comments what you think about this concept. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.